In 1853, over 4,000 steamers called at the port of Cincinnati. It was the height of the riverboat era. Moving products and people, these workhorses of the inland waterway were the single most important factor in the growth of Cincinnati into the Queen City. Tonight, relive the splendor of that time in Tall Stacks 88. Brought to you by Kroger, the home of cost-cutter low prices. And by Beachmont Toyota.
This is the splendor, the pageantry of Tall Stacks 88, the crowning event of the bicentennial year. 14 riverboats have gathered for this once-in-a-lifetime celebration, heralding the majesty of a bygone age. Good evening and welcome to Tall Stacks 88. I'm Jerry Springer.
And I'm Norma Rashid. You know, this has been an absolutely wonderful weekend, a weekend that we're all going to remember for a very, very long time. We'll look back at pictures in our albums and remember this weekend, but right now we're waiting for the departure ceremonies. That's when all the boats leave in procession, and we're going to look back at all the things that made this such a special weekend throughout the next couple of hours.
That's right. We've had over hundreds of thousands of people come down to the river from all over the world to be part of this celebration. It's kind of sad that it's all coming to an end.
Well, right now we're here at the public landing. We're overlooking the stage. It's right behind us, and that is where the departure ceremonies are going to take place. The hosts for the departure ceremonies are Toria Hamill.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ceremony that brings to a close one of the greatest weekends that Cincinnati has ever had, and that's Tall Stacks Weekend. Did everybody have a good time? It's absolutely fantastic. As we look around and we see the tall boats and the steamships coming in, it really reminds us, looking at the various setup here, of a day gone by. The atmosphere is fantastic, and I don't think we could have asked for a better weekend. Maybe weather-wise, just in the past few hours, but it's gone great. And I think what we need now to add to the beautiful atmosphere of Tall Stacks is the Southern Gateway Chorus. Help me welcome them.
Bring back those riverboat days, those good old riverboat days. Live the life of a riverboat rambler, all dressed up like a Mississippi gambler. Riverboat days, those good old riverboat days. Mississippi and Missouri, Arkansas, Red, and the Ohio. Bring back those good old riverboat days. Good old riverboat days. Moving on a flatboat down the river all the way from Louisville. We're gonna play chug-a-lug and drink rye whiskey. When we get to Dalton, we're gonna drink whiskey. When I get my money, gonna gamble it all. Buy a great big bottle of gin. Gonna walk back home from New Orleans just to float down the river again. Bring back those riverboat days, those good old riverboat days. I wanna cool my feet in the Mississippi water, play strip poker with the captain's daughter. Riverboat days, those good old riverboat days. Mississippi and Missouri, Arkansas, Red, and the Ohio. Bring back those good old riverboat days. Good old riverboat days. Moving down the river on the big slide wheeler called the Natchez number 5. Going so fast that we left tomorrow. Yesterday is when we arrived. Water's getting low and the folks look worried, but not that Natchez crew. They say she can run on a field of clover if you wait for the morning to bring back those riverboat days, those good old riverboat days. Mississippi and Missouri, Arkansas, Red, and the Ohio. Bring back those good old riverboat days just for me. Oh, yeah. Bring back those good old riverboat days.
Winning Southern Gateway Chorus. Thank you very much. I think that we also need to give a round of applause to the captains of the ships who came in. They came from all over the place, and if you got on any of the ships, you probably met one. Let's give them a big hand. Now, you've heard a lot of music, and it seems like we stepped right into the 1800s. There's someone here also to help us celebrate, and you've probably heard of this wonderful singer, and if it's possible to become a good friend in an hour, let me introduce my good friend, John Hartford. Now, this gentleman is very interesting, because he also happens to be a riverboat captain, although you say it's a pilot, correct?
Yeah, I'm a pilot.
Now tell me about that. What exactly do you do? Are you the one who maneuvers down the river?
Pilot here and pilot there. No, I just get to steer a little bit.
You also started on what we know now as the Delta Queen.
My first river job was out of Cincinnati here on the Delta Queen when it was owned by Green Line Steamers.
Does anybody remember that? Hometown boy.
From the foot of Main Street.
From the foot of Main Street, that's right. Well, the Delta Queen has been here all weekend. Did you get a chance to reminisce and go on board?
Sure have.
And you spent a lot of time on those, on the Delta Queen anyway.
Yeah, on Delta Queen and the Natchez down in New Orleans and the Belle of Louisville, and also on a boat called the Julia Bell Swain, which is up on the upper Mississippi, and I wish she was here, but she's not.
Well, something that also is appropriate is that we have a lot of the other captains here, and I think you ought to be the one to introduce them.
Now's the time to pull out my list.
I thought we were going to ad-lib.
Okay, all right. We have Captain Don Dobson from the President. Where is he at?
We'll be returning to Toria as Tall Stacks winds up, but let's go back a couple of days. Friday afternoon as the Delta Queen led the Tall Stacks into the port of Cincinnati. Calliope music filled the air as the parade of boats began its way upstream. The Delta Queen was the first to set the atmosphere for the celebration. Trumpet players were there to greet her as she docked. The other boats followed. From as far away as Memphis, Tennessee, 14 riverboats steamed into the port of Cincinnati, recreating an age we've only read about in history books. It's almost like we could relive the golden age of a young Cincinnati. Some people got into the spirit of the occasion and wanted to make new memories of the bygone Tall Stacks era.
I think it is the most fabulous thing I've ever done. It's the dream of my lifetime. This is what I've always wanted to do.
My great-grandchildren will have these.
No doubt, this was a weekend that all generations will cherish for a very long time.